Yo, what is up, everybody? Great to have you here on the channel again. And as always, I'm your host, LL here. And today we are going to be talking about a subject that I like to call third generation mining. First generation was proof of work through GPUs and CPUs. Second generation was the introduction of ASIC machines and proof of space and proof of storage through hard drives. And third generation basically represents this mining through bandwidth, your data, decentralized VPNs, IoT networks, things that are, I would argue, not so costly in terms of electricity, cheap machines that you basically put into your house, which work as nodes of some kind, or some type of routers which regulate data, or give access to your IP address to a VPN network, or something between those lines. And there's so much interesting innovation happening in this specific niche, which I think it will be growing in the crypto space. And I've selected 5 projects which I want to talk about here, which are doing, and all of them are very different from each other, such as the fact that they are selling devices which allow you to basically earn money. Let's get started with Cyrus, which is probably the most newest on this list of 5. And basically what they are doing is this form of router, which is basically, as you can see, there's internet switches here and power switch. So basically it kind of like regulates data and data ownership, and basically this will be your kind of like a simple plug, and you will be able to access and generate value from all of your daily interactions with this machine. And this is not ordering phase yet right now, and I'm not sure like the very intricacies and the very nitty-gritty details how this is basically working, but some type of data is filtered through, and there's some type of ad revenue and things like these which will be going through the Cyrus wallet by having one of those things, and you will be getting money. And it's an interesting project. It is on Ethereum. There's actually some investors behind this in case you are interested in those types of projects. And there's actually LinkedIn profiles for all the people who are also involved in this. And here is the contract address on the Ethereum network. But as I said, this is in the very beginning. I think it just got listed in KuCoin Gate and all of these exchanges. So there's not so much things about the actual device yet, but I am very looking forward to actually acquiring one. But let's move on. We have Akash, which is basically trying to build like a decentralized cloud system. I've been in understanding that a lot of the cloud systems are like running 70% through Amazon or something, and that's a huge centralized problem which needs some solving, and I think Akash could be one of those solutions, building that more of a decentralized cloud system. And there's all types of, tech stuff which I can't even explain to most people. Serverless apps, what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know how to explain that. But they, not too long ago, introduced this machine called the Super Mini. And this will be, it's a very interesting looking device. Let me see when it actually loads up on the screen. So this is like a box which basically shows you, it works as a node, that's how I understood. And powerful portable computer, you plug in your internet cable there, you plug in your power cable, and then you start on, and it will basically start mining money for you. Okay, it's not a miner, it's serving as a cloud provider, basically generating your passive income. And as the bear market kicks in, you really want to have those options, something that generates you money without the cost, because that's what happens with proof of work. There is an upside cost of running those networks. It is not cheap to just mine Bitcoin during the bear market. And that is why a lot of these different types of mining opportunities can. And it's also improving the world in the sense that you're contributing into the D-Cloud, which is their decentralized cloud marketplace. and basically you offer compute things. I don't know how is that done. Maybe there's like a link or something. Sadly, it is sold out. I've tried to email Akash. Do they have review copies or something? I haven't received an email back yet, but here's hoping. And here's a bit of like features about. It seems to have fair enough of memory there. And I don't remember, I think it was like $500 or something for the machine. And to understand, like, a lot of those ASIC machines start from plus $600. And these don't, these don't really burn so much electricity like a lot of the normal proof of work mining does. So this is very, very good option for people who are looking into different devices. And this is something, obviously, a lot of these machines which I'm talking about here today, I really want to review on the channel at some point. But let's move on. We have Deeper Network, and they are basically building out a decentralized VPN network or infrastructure, basically for Web 3.0. And I think they just got like a lot of grants, I think, if I don't remember wrong, from Polkadot. And basically a DPN, what they call decentralized private network. I don't know what is the real difference between a VPN and a DPN. I mean, what is the difference between virtual network versus private network? I guess you can choose who you're going to be letting in or out. Who knows? But basically, they are kind of building out a similar thing where you basically become a validator of sorts and a web server provider. Something between those lines. I mean, this is still a lot of new stuff for me, and I'm trying to like get all the names and the things right. So I apologize in case I don't explain everything to the perfect degree. And let me actually find the product. So they released multiple of these, and there's actually different sizes here. This is the biggest one. On the bottom is the family model, or I think this is actually all of them. And the light is the, not named after me, sadly, but this is the biggest one that you basically can get. Then there's a mini one, which is like size of a Raspberry Pi. And then there's Nano, which is super small. And then there's like Pico, which looks like a USB drive. And these are basically the new wave of mining, which you can basically get here. You can say, talks about 15 watts. That is absolutely nothing. In terms of electricity cost, and true internet freedom. And I think they kind of like, if I understood right, they work also as like some type of routers of sort. And they've been around for some time now. I do own the token as well. A lot of big partners here, as you can see. Some Chinese companies on the mix, which might be a bit of a red signal there, because we obviously have to be a bit critical about to what extent is the state going to be part of spying on people and etc. things like that. China.com, okay. But yeah, like there's a lot of utility for this type of stuff, and no logging. That sounds very, very promising to me. And a lot of these existing VPN companies, they are under actually intelligence agencies, like I think the Five Wizards or whatever it's called. I can't remember the name, but let's move on. And probably the biggest or second biggest or the biggest project on the list is Helium Network. This is the one that I'm most familiar on this list because I've actually bought the machines. They're going to be arriving somewhere in September, and there's going to be a lot of reviews on the channel about them. And Helium basically is building out a Wi-Fi network of sorts to IoT machines. IoT machines can be a smart TV, it can be a smart fridge. Let's say you leave your fridge open and you're in the car, and you can send like a message throughout the IoT network that, hey, this fridge needs to be closed, and then the message goes to, and that fridge will close down in your home automatically by sending that message. Now, obviously, there's a lot of exploitation that can happen to this, hacking people's IoT devices and doing stuff with them. There's been people mining even with IoT devices and things like these. And not everything in every country obviously are running through IoT, but they are going to be a lot more in the future. And basically what you do is you place these on different parts around in your country or in the map, and there's going to be rewards basically given to you, money, real time, or on a daily basis basically. And based on how close they are, if there's, let's say a certain very populated area of the city and there's 5 other miners next to you, you're going to be getting less rewards. So basically it's like a network, and more rural area you perhaps are, is mightily giving you actually bonuses. And there's a lot of interesting things, and we're going to be talking about that in the future a lot more. And then there's staking, which they have introduced for their machines, and there's so many of these being built out, and they are selling out. There's many people who built these machines. I think there's a Bobcat, that's the one that I got. Then there's Nebras, Rack. I think this is the original Helium miner by helium.com. And then Synchrobit, I think I got theirs too. And there's a lot of interesting things, and we're going to be going more deeper into this. And obviously Helium is a big project. It's a big project, and they need to still kind of figure out like where does there going to be a burn and utility, these sorts of things. Like gonna have to find utility cases for the HT token. But outside from that, it seems a very promising project, and people are getting very, very nice interests on these machines. Like the RYI is like you recoup the interest of the cost of the machine in like 2 months or a month and a half. And there's actually halvings that will take place actually with this thing. And there's 5G stuff also involved with some of these machines. But let's jump into the very last one, which is the Holochain. Obviously a bit older project. And basically they are building some type of a cloud thing, apparently, similar to Akash. And there are apps which you can download, but they also have this machine, which is actually showing up on the video in some parts. Let me find the part. And it's just sort of like a white box, basically, that you can put in your home, and it seems very easy. And a lot of these are like, based on what I've looked into, a lot more easier to run than your generic miner tools. Like, even I have a couple of USB miners, and setting them up like took some time because there's a lot of hassles and stuff like that you have to do. But with these, it's almost like plug in and play. And here's the machine. People are like using it. And this one, there seems to be 2 different models. And this one's a bit more powerful, has more RAM and storage, 2 terabytes of HDD and 128 gigabytes of SSD. And there's a wait list for these right now. I don't know the pricing for them, but to my understanding, you do get paid for running these things. And I think Holo is like building out like not just like cloud hosting, but also like having your applications being on in the client or something in the cloud network. So there's a lot of like customers which are going to be interested in. And the current token is on ERC20, and they're going to be going into their own chain apparently, which is a smart thing to do. You're not able to do micropayments with Ethereum without going bankrupt. And basically, app publishers pay hosts to Holofuel to rent their extra data storage and compute power. So this can be very affordable to host different applications and apps in this service versus another. And it seems to be also very decentralized, so they just can't take them down or anything like that. And right now it's some type of alpha program. Holochain, if you're watching this video, hook me up with that device. But I'm gonna wrap this up here. So here's 5 different projects which are kind of like doing their own types of miners. And I can see this being the future of mining, because obviously we have talked about in previous videos about why proof of work is not very good, because electricity costs around the world are not the same, and all the production is done on China, and the money just flows back to China really because ASIC machines are done there. But this can be a very affordable way for people to get into the world, because the cost of acquisition, yes, it's going to be $300 to $500 with some of these devices, but the upkeep cost is not really that much, and how much you can make from these also is pretty good down the line. But hey, thanks for watching this video. For business inquiries, liger@portamel.com. And if you know about similar types of projects to these 5, I would love to know about this. So make sure you leave a comment down below in the comment section. Cheers.